Planned Parenthood understands that abortion stigma can make you feel isolated and scared. Listening to one another is how we build strong and supportive communities. That's why Planned Parenthood is sharing stories of resilience and hope from real people who've had abortions. Let's help create a world where everyone can get the care they need. Learn more at plannedparenthood.com/endstigma.
An important message from Blue Ridge Hospice. There may be several hospices now claiming to serve the area, but Blue Ridge Hospice is the only local hospice that has been serving here for 40-plus years, operates the only hospice inpatient care center, conducts the only community-wide grief and bereavement programs, offers a nationally recognized music therapy program in conjunction with Shenandoah University, outscores every other Virginia hospice in Medicare's quality scores, and so much more. Blue Ridge Hospice, the first, the best. Find out more at blueridgehospice.org.
Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Edie Allard. I'm a producer here at WMN, and I'm excited to guest host during this final week of Pride Month. We're celebrating Pride Month with icons, supreme queens of queer culture. Some are household names, others are a little more behind the scenes. All of them have defied social norms and influenced generations of people to be unapologetically themselves. Today, we're talking about a writer whose work helped pave the way for the popular Japanese illustrated genre of manga, specifically shōjo manga, which is aimed at young women and explores the intense relationships between them. Please welcome Nobuko Yoshiya. Nobuko was born in 1896 in Niigata, a coastal area northwest of Tokyo, Japan. Nobuko's parents raised her in accordance with the adage, good wife, wise mother, which was the prevailing strategy for girls' education at the time. It was thought that by having women be in charge of the home and provide the backbone for raising children correctly, it would spur economic growth and national development. Nobuko was the only daughter out of 5 children, which only intensified domestic expectations for her. Nobuko escaped these pressures when she was 19 years old. She moved to Tokyo, where she began attending gatherings organized by Seito, Japan's pioneering feminist magazine. The magazine began by publishing feminine literature, but over time, it broadened its focus to the real lives of women in Japan. It embraced gender equality and women's liberation, and became a forum for discussing the way patriarchal institutions oppressed women. Spending time with the writers and intellectuals behind this magazine gave Nobuko more confidence to carve out a life for herself. She cut her hair short and abandoned skirts, developing a more androgynous style. A year after moving to Tokyo, Nobuko published Flower Tales, a collection of 52 short stories. Each story is named after a different flower. Many of the short stories vividly explore the world of girls living in school dormitories as teens. Most of the stories in the collection revolve around longing and unrequited crushes. In the dormitory setting, the girls crush on fellow students or a teacher. The collection became immensely popular, particularly among young women. It was also a major influence on modern shōjo manga, the type of Japanese comics written for young women. When she was 23 years old, Nobuko published one of her most well-known stories, 2 Virgins in the Attic. It follows the story of 2 girls who feel like outcasts at their dormitory school, so they seek refuge together in an old attic where they begin to long for one another. They sneak glances, spy on each other in the bathroom, and identify the floral notes in each other's scent. The girls assert that they have no need for men in their life. The story culminates in a kiss. Many scholars trace this story to an eventual evolution of shōjo manga called yuri manga, a subgenre more explicitly focused on lesbian, romantic, and sexual relationships. In her 20s, Nobuko met Monma Chiyo. Soon after, they moved in together. At one point, Monma had to leave for work for 10 months. Nobuko sent her a letter a month before she was due to return home with the following proposal. 1. We will build a small house for the 2 of us. 2. I will become the head of the household and officially adopt you. 3. We will ask a friend to serve as a go-between and hold a wedding reception. Because same-sex marriage was not, and is still not, legal in Japan, Nobuko chose the legal loophole of adopting Monma so that they could own property and make medical decisions together. They built a small home and lived together for 50 years. Later in life, Nobuko's work no longer focused on the explicit love between women. Her work veered more toward the lives of housewives in unhappy marriages who sometimes sought solace in the arms of a friend. If feelings did develop, one of the friends would die or become a nun. Nobuko died in 1973 from cancer. She was 77 years old. Nobuko earned enough royalties from her work to buy 5 homes in her lifetime. One of them, in Kamakura, Japan, was turned into a memorial museum in her honor. All month, we're talking about icons. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Thanks for listening, and you can tune in to another episode tomorrow.
Planned Parenthood fights every day so all people can get the care and education they need to live full, healthy lives. That means having the freedom to control your own body and make decisions for your future, including whether to have an abortion. Abortion storytellers are important. Their powerful narratives, each as unique as they are, reject silence and shame. That's why Planned Parenthood is building a platform to share stories, busting stigma and breaking down barriers to essential health care, one voice at a time. Together, we can help create a future where all people are free to make their own decisions, no matter what. Learn more at plannedparenthood.com/endstigma.
So there is a ton of stuff they don't want you to know.
Yeah, like does the U.S. government really have alien technology?
Or what about the future of AI? What happens when computers actually learn to think?
Could there be a serial killer in your town? From UFOs to psychic powers and government cover-ups, from unsolved crimes to the bleeding edge of science, history is riddled with unexplained events.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your favorite shows.
What's up, y'all? I'm Brian Ford, artisan baker and host of the new podcast, Flaky Biscuit. I'm going to help y'all learn how to cook and bake new things as we get to know our guests through their favorite nostalgic meal.
If you are ever at a place in your life where things are too busy or your head gets too big, having a meal like this, it reminds you of who you were and also who you still are.
Listen to Flaky Biscuit every Tuesday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.